Hey there, what's up internet? My name is BlackLightAttack. Today we're playing some TF2. It's been a while, and I am not currently what you would call excellent at this game. Not that I ever would just have described myself at any point in my time playing this game as being excellent, but I'm especially not so right now because I'm severely out of practice once again because I once again stopped playing this game for a long time. I think Call of Duty just sort of not that Call of Duty replaced TF2, but I was sort of losing interest in TF2 for a while, and Call of Duty was there to fill the void. So the difference between TF2 and Call of Duty, among many other things, is that Call of Duty is very easy and TF2 is very not. People that play TF2, kind of have this idea of a skilled player versus an unskilled player, and that's all relative. But generally speaking, TF2 is a very high skill game, and even a bad player in TF2 might be really good at some other games. Might have some really high skill sets. I don't know. It's a really high skill game. It's just very difficult to do well. If at least in like a single pub setting, like if you do what I do and you just kind of game alone and just join random pubs and try to do well, you have a really hard time because it's a team game. And pretty much any time when it's a focus on the team rather than the individual, it's just going to be way harder to get to work, especially if you're playing alone. But one thing it has over Call of Duty that it will always have over Call of Duty is that it actually feels good to do well. It actually gives you a bit of a sense of accomplishment to do well because it's a high skill game. And in COD, it's just too easy. It's just too damn easy. And not to mention everybody in COD thinks you're hacking when you're doing well, whereas TF2 doesn't really have a problem with hackers. Might have one occasionally, but whereas in Black Ops 2, like, I'm pretty good at that game. Go to my wall. If you're in my Steam group, visit my Steam profile. I think right now my display name is Unbridled Faggotry. Click on my profile and look at my comments on my profile. It's just like so many people like, oh my god, you're hacking in Black Ops 2. Yeah, totally hacking in Black Ops 2. Yeah, I really give a shit about the game that much that I would hack. I really care. Like, I don't know. Still kind of bitter about just the COD community in general. It just has so turned me off to like multiplayer gaming right now, and it was a huge breath of fresh air to go back to TF2, where even though people can definitely still be dicks in TF2, big time, it's just such a better, more intelligent community. Even if people are being dicks, at least they're more intelligent about it than in Call of Duty. People who play Call of Duty are just fucking dumb. I'm sorry, like, obviously I don't mean everybody who plays Call of Duty, or else I would be disparaging myself, because I do play Call of Duty, but in comparison, the average intelligence of the average COD player in conversation, this isn't necessarily speaking to their GPA or success in life, but in average conversation, the intelligence level of somebody who plays Call of Duty versus somebody who plays Team Fortress 2 is astronomical. It's insane how much stupider the conversations you have in Call of Duty are. I swear something about just playing that game drives down your IQ, and then the second you exit the application, it's just like, you just spring back up and you're like, holy shit, what was I doing? Why was I clubbing a woman with a bone? With a femur from a woolly mammoth? I don't know. It's enough about Call of Duty though. I'm back playing TF2 right now, and I am enjoying it. You guys can probably thank Vin for getting me back into it. One of my biggest annoyances with the game that drove me away in the first place are still here, and that would be the existence of mini-sentries, the engineers, the gunslinger. And goddamn, that item just needs to be removed from the game. But Vin introduced me to Stars server, and I've always known of the existence of Stars server, but I never really thought I would have any real reason to play there, because I was, always playing on low skill lobbies because I sucked. And the players in Stars server are actually pretty good sometimes. Well, you get a mixture of both. You get the people who are just really good at the game, and like, I guess people who he's probably played with, because I know Star is a very good player. And then there's the people who are just his fans and suck at the game and just want to be like Star when they grow up. So it's a mix of both, but the skilled players definitely tend to roll everybody, and I suck. So, but playing there a little bit kind of got me going. Kind of feeling the game a bit more. Playing with high skill players is always good for you, and as you can see on the screen right here, my aim is still pretty shit, but it's things I'm building back up. By the way, you may have noticed that I have a script installed similar to the one I have on my Spy that hides the view models whenever I have either of my guns equipped on the Scout, but if I pull out my bat, it'll show it. I don't know. I like having the representation of the melee weapon. It's just, I don't know, maybe a Spy thing, but I'm trying to play a little less Spy right now just to sort of build those like inherent skills back up. Spy is a great class for doing some really unique things that aren't present in any other shooter. But in Team Fortress 2, you know, you kind of have to get your movement back, you got to get your aim back, and like certain classes like Scout and Snipe are really good for improving your aim. And that's actually something that's pretty important to Spies, improving your aim, but you don't get to work on it as much because a lot of times you're going for stabs and, you know, you're espionaging it up and stuff. But so, you know, I'm trying to play some more Scout, and I am having a good time like pub stomping as Scout, and, you know, hopefully soon I'll be moving up to some more high skill lobbies, maybe playing in Star Server a little bit, find that nice mix of players. And more importantly, when I'm playing TF2, that means more TF2 videos for you guys. And I know a lot of you really love TF2 on my channel. A lot of you are subscribed for TF2. There was a long period of time where I was uploading almost nothing but TF2 videos. And I was known once upon a time as a TF2 player. So I'm kind of known for two games, TF2 and Pokemon. And, you know, some subscribers are split. Some subscribers like both. Some people will watch anything I put up. Some people are dead subscribers, which is, I guess, the opposite end of the spectrum. But you know, I think TF2 is a core of my subscriber base that I've kind of been, I don't want to say ignoring, because I've always been conscious of it. It's just that I haven't been playing the game, and if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to be making good videos. Anyway, and that just brings me back to the Mini-Sentries. God damn, those suck. But the reason I got on the topic of Star Server earlier was because he actually has those banned on his server, which is great. That's like the best thing ever to me. Is just like Star, if you're watching this for some reason, I want to suck your dick, because getting rid of Mini-Sentry, the Mini-Sentry just ruined the game for me. I just think they're awful. It just puts you in as soon as an engineer drops it requires no skill, first of all. I played plenty of Combat Engie, and I stopped playing it because I realized how fucked up it was and how little skill it takes, and it's just it stops being fun for me at that point once I realized that. And I don't know, when you're fighting a Combat Engie. Now, there are a couple classes that can handle Combat Engie alright, but for most classes, he throws down a Mini-Sentry, and then you're like, well, do I spend the time trying to destroy the Mini-Sentry before it deploys? And if so, the engineer's just going to start shooting me. Or do I shoot the engineer, and then I'm probably going to have to fight this Mini-Sentry, not to mention whatever other teammates show up of his in that time. You know, pretty much either way, you're screwed unless you just run away, and it's just not something that many other classes can force you into. Just splitting your attention like that. It's just, I don't know, it's really, really aggravating, and especially because if you don't kill that engineer, if he like throws a Mini-Sentry down at you and runs away or something, he can just throw another one down in another 3 seconds. It's not even an issue for him. I've played it, it's fucking easy, it's dumb, it needs to be nerfed to shit. I'm telling you that right now. But enough of me bitching about game mechanics. You know, this was going to be a video. I wasn't sure. I kind of want to do another people watching. And I have my next subject. I think we're going to do my next one about super fans. This is another idea that I've had for people watching since I originally conceptualized the series. And this is definitely going to be a series that I do very, very, very infrequently. Which you may have noticed because the last one was like a couple months ago. For those of you who don't know, People Watching was a series where I just sort of pick a group or a clique or you know some label of person and just observe and just kind of get some thoughts out about those whatever kind of person I've chosen, and not to disparage or judge anyone, but just to you know, just to offer my opinions and insights on those kind of people I've chosen. And one of the sorts of people who really fascinate me are super fans, people who just latch onto one specific interest and just go nuts on it. And, you know, some people you get super fans of, you know, they have a new interest every week, but I wouldn't really consider that a true super fan. But I'm talking about like somebody who gets like Twilight tattooed across their entire back. Like what? But I'm trying to come up with some other observations than what? Because I just don't understand. We'll get more into it when I actually make the video, but that's obviously going to be over TF2 when I finally do it. Last time it was over Call of Duty, but as I said in the first episode, it's just going to be over a gameplay of whatever I'm playing at the time. It doesn't matter what. It's just, you know, it's more about the commentary than the game I'm playing, so. And I also had a more serious topic to discuss, but I thought with my return to TF2, I would rather just kind of switch it on and bullshit rather than dive into anything too serious, because I don't want TF2 to, you know, have that association of just being like super depressing and serious, like serious face, like, oh shit, TF2 video, he's gonna have to lay some heavy shit on us now. That's not true, you know. I'm gonna be trying to play more. I'm really hoping it captures my attention and just gives me ammo to just keep making videos, because I know, like I said before, I know you guys enjoy the TF2. But anyway, my point is there's a bunch of videos I have lined up. It's hard, though, because I play a lot of games, and I guess just because I don't upload a lot of them, people don't realize that I play so many games. I'm trying to play a lot of stuff right now, and my TF2 sucks, so it's harder for me to play and actually do well and get gameplays. So, I mean, this is from like a 2.5 hour play session, and I mean, I've managed to distill it down to like, what, 15 minutes of not shit gameplay, and even that's still kind of bad. So, I don't know, like, you know what I just got was Tropico 4. They just put a bundle on. I don't know if by the time you guys get this, if it'll still be going by the time you're seeing this, but with SimCity just completely shitting all over itself during its launch, and EA just completely fucking the duck on that one. They released Tropico 4 and all of its expansion/DLC content as a bundle for $10. And a lot of people think that it was because of the SimCity failure that they were like, hey, SimCity doesn't work, but Tropico 4 is proven, and here it is for almost no money. And so I picked that up, you know, and with everybody talking about SimCity, I kind of wanted to play a sim game anyway. And like, I was a huge fan of SimCity. I was a huge fan of SimCity back in the day. SimCity 2000 was my shit. I don't know if it was a game I actually ever owned, but I remember I had a childhood friend in the neighborhood who I went over his house, played SimCity like all the damn time. Great game. I think I played it a lot over my cousin's house too. I'm not sure. Might have been one of those games. You know, you always played over your friend's house and always wanted it for yourself, but never ended up getting it for whatever reason. But I mean, anyway, the point is I love SimCity, and you know, I knew some bullshit like this was gonna go down as soon as they said it was gonna be always on because they were upfront with us about that it was gonna be always on DRM, and I don't know why people didn't make a bigger deal about it then, but I guess. People were kind of making a big deal about it, but I don't know. I decided not to buy it because of that. And it's not like I was like boycotting it or anything. It was more like, okay, I'll just sit back and see if the always online DRM is really going to cause any issues, and if it ends up being still good and the game is that good that it's worth it to actually install Origin, because I've still managed to avoid that, and deal with the always online DRM, because, I mean, it looks fucking amazing, then, yeah, I'll get it. And then this happened, this huge fucking debacle happened, and I was like, well, I feel smart, and gave myself a little pat on the back, but I still wanted to play a sim game, so I saw Tropico online, and that just makes the guys who put that on sale fucking smart. I don't know if that has to do with Steam or the developer, or the publisher, rather. I would assume it's the publisher's call to put that on sale, but they did something smart. I was feeling smart. I was like, hey, we're both smart. Let's get together. Let's fuck. And now I'm playing Tropico 4. Pretty good game, I have to say. I'm really enjoying it. I actually had to pry myself away from it to record this commentary. And it's like, I don't know, like 2 hours, and I was still on the first mission, because I was done the first mission. I completed the first mission by like, maybe like an hour 15. Like, it was still pretty long. But I just wanted to like perfect everything. I don't know if any of my progress is going to carry over the next mission. I assume it doesn't, but I still just like wanted my city that I started out with to just like be perfect. So like, there's like a story behind it a bit more, whereas I don't know. I don't remember if SimCity like 2000 really was much for a campaign mode. I just remember always playing the free build mode, and they have that in Tropico, but if you play the campaign, basically the story is that you're a dictator of a tropical island, kind of like Cuba, and you're Fidel Castro, more or less. Actually, you can be Fidel Castro, even though it's not technically Cuba, but anyway. Your job is to just run your dictatorship, and if you want to be a malicious ruler, you can. If you want to keep your people happy, you can. It seems in Tropico 4 the goal is to make your people happy, but I think you can still get by ruling with an iron fist. I'm not sure yet. I'm a benevolent ruler, so everybody was pretty happy by the time I finished the first mission, but actually the first mission was to keep your people happy. I think that was the final criteria, was to get happiness above a certain percent, but I don't, it's like really involved. You have to keep track of all your imports and exports, and you know how you're getting your money. You have to keep people happy from a religious standpoint, from a residential standpoint, from a job standpoint, from a food standpoint, obviously. Like, you have to manage like every single aspect of your city, and it's really, really in depth, and that's what I really like. Because it's introduced to you, like, you know, incrementally enough that it makes sense, and it feels overwhelming, but once you actually get down to it and practice it, it's not so much, because when you do start to slip in one regard, people will actually like yell at you. It'll like pop something up and be like, hey dude, we don't have enough churches and we want to pray to some shit. So you know, so I don't feel that I ever got too overwhelmed, but I was still very engaged at the same time. So I don't know, it's a really good game. I would recommend it to anybody who can get it on sale. The only thing I have to complain about so far is that the road system fucking blows. Trying to build roads in that is like pulling teeth. I don't know though, I wish I could run my shit as like a more secular state, but it's just, I guess if you're looking at it from a ruler's perspective, if you force people to have no religion, that's just as bad as forcing a religion on them. But at the same time, when you make people happy with their choice of religion, it's only like one religion, and it's pretty heavily suggested to be Catholicism or, well, some form of Christianity. And I don't know, it's just kind of like can I determine my religion? Can I? Nah. I guess it makes sense, because like in that sort of area, like, you know, the Caribbean islands and stuff, I guess that's pretty prevalent. So I don't know, is that even true? I have no idea. Yeah, other stuff I'm playing. What am I playing right now? Medieval Resurrection? Pretty bad. Like, I'm still playing it. I'm probably gonna beat it, but it's pretty bad. So Medieval, I talked about it in my Jet Set Radio, but like nobody watches that. So Medieval back in the day, I'll give you the quick version. Medieval back in the day was a really, really awesome franchise that only had 2 entries on the PlayStation 1, and that was it. Basically, it was a gothic horror, like, comedy-style game. Really, really good. It was not super silly, but not super serious either, and even though it had a gothic horror style, it wasn't supposed to be scary. It was almost like Nightmare Before Christmas kind of style. Like that. Like, creepy, but not scary. Alright? The main character is this undead knight named Sir Daniel Fortescue, who is risen from the grave, where he is entombed as the hero of Gallowmere, the savior of the realm. And it turns out that he actually wasn't at all a hero. He was actually the first person struck down in battle. He led the charge, but was just immediately killed by an arrow to the eye. And the king needed somebody for the common people to rally behind, so for whatever reason he chose Daniel to be crowned the hero of Gallowmere as a lie, like just a bold-faced lie, and he sort of undeservedly got the title, and he was unable to descend to the afterlife called the Hall of Heroes, which was for only real heroes. So eventually the sorcerer that the first war was against gets revived somehow, and he raises the dead, and in his attempts accidentally re-raises Sir Daniel Fortescue, and he realizes this is an opportunity to actually earn his title as hero of Gallowmere, ascend to the heavens. And it was just really good and full of style, and like, when I was a kid, I was scared of everything. I was terrified of it. I couldn't watch any horror movies. I would be up for night after night after night just imagining all the horrible things that could happen to me that I'd seen in the movie. I was like, for some reason, I was like really terrified of everything as a kid. It's something I eventually grew out of around like high school. But what I really loved about Medieval back in the day was how it disarmed horror for me. How this was like all these zombies and skeletons and stuff, but it wasn't scary. It was just funny. So when I saw Medieval was offered on the PlayStation Store, I was like, hell yeah, I'm all over that. So I downloaded it, and it turns out the control scheme is fucking awful. This was from like the really early days where 3D gaming was just becoming a thing, really. It was just becoming a commonplace thing. So a lot of developers were still kind of figuring it out. And the control scheme is terrible. It's completely unplayable in this day and age. It's just awful. So I decided to try out the reboot. There was a reboot on PSP right around, I think it was close to a launch title of the PSP. It came out towards the beginning of the PSP's life. There was a reboot of the first game where they kind of recast some of the story a little bit, and a lot of the levels are redesigned, but it's all pretty much the same game, same story. And it's not good, you know? I mean, they tighten up the controls a bit, but not enough to make it worth all the badness, which is terrible voice acting. They made Daniel an idiot instead of a grumpy Gus like he originally was, but I'm still probably going to play it, honestly. I really need to get my hands on Medieval 2, because that one, if I remember correctly, was way better than Medieval 1. But anyway, guys, that's about the end of my clip, so I guess enough about what I'm playing, other than the game you're seeing right now. I hope you guys look forward to more TF2 coming on my channel in the coming weeks. And please consider hitting the like button if you did enjoy the video. I'd appreciate it very much if you did. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.